the last many weeks, a huge controversy has erupted over the national language of India. While many people in North India, including celebrities, politicians and social media influencers, have claimed that Hindi is a national language and it must be given preferential treatment, many people from other states have come to the fore saying that Hindi is not our national language. It is only our official language. So what is India's national language? How can we put rest to this age-old debate between Hindi versus the rest of the Indian languages? Let's unbreak this news. The fight over Hindi versus all other languages got an impetus after several celebrities started raking up the debate once again. At the trailer launch of a Kannada film, actor Sudeep said that Hindi is not a national language anymore.
Welcome back into a very beautiful land called Karnataka, sir, which is actually a prime locality of South today. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, you were talking very high about our industry. Felt very good. ಕನ್ನಡ ಚಿತ್ರರಂಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಯಾನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದೊಂದು ಕರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರಲಿ. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಹಿಂದಿ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಮೋರ್ ದಿ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನೋ ಮೋರ್ ಅ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಂದಿ ಶುಡ್ ಸೇ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಯಾನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಟುಡೇ. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ತೆಲುಗು ತಮಿಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಡಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒದ್ದಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ, ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಪ್ಯಾನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಇಸ್ not from here. We are just nowadays, I think today, we just make films which reaches everywhere.
To this, Bollywood actor Ajay Devgan retorted by tweeting to Sudeep, asking him, if Hindi is not a national language, then why are you dubbing movies of your mother tongue to Hindi and releasing it? Devgan went on to say Hindi was a national language, is a national language and will continue to remain a national language. Responding to Ajay Devgan's tweet, Sudeep replied by saying, I did understand the text you sent in Hindi. That's only because we all have respected, loved and learnt Hindi. No offense, sir, but was wondering what would the situation be if my response was typed in Kannada. Don't we too belong to India, sir? Soon, actor-politician Divya Spandana also jumped into the fray in support of Sudeep, saying, no, Hindi is not a national language. Ajay Devgan, your ignorance is baffling. And it's great that films like KGF, Pushpa and RRR have done so well in the Hindi belt. Art has no language barrier. Please enjoy our films as much as we enjoy yours. Stop Hindi imposition. Miffed by Ajay Devgan's remarks, soon there were protests in Karnataka against the actor. Activists of the pro-Kannada group Karnataka Rakshana Vedike raised slogans and started protesting against Devgan. The Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai also joined the controversy and extended his support to Kannada actor Sudeep.
ಸುದೀಪ್ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಸರಿ ಇದೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳು ಭಾಷಾವಾರು ಪ್ರಾಂತ್ಯಗಳಾದ ಮೇಲೆ ಆ ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ರೀಜನಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಮಾತೃಭಾಷೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಮಹತ್ವ ಇದೆ. ಅದೇ ಸಾರ್ವಭೌಮ. ಅದೇ ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನು ಸುನೀಲ್ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸುದೀಪ್ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸುದೀಪ್ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿರುವಂಥ ವಿಚಾರ ಸರಿ ಇದೆ. ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಮನಗಾಣಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತು ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು.
Not just Karnataka Chief Minister. Soon, several other celebrities and politicians started giving their opinion on the national language controversy. National Conference leader Omar Abdullah said, India is too diverse a country to have one national language and India cannot be about one language, one culture or one religion.
India is too diverse a country to have one national language. I think the idea of India is that it gives space to everybody. When you pick up a currency note, an Indian currency note, how many languages do you find on it? The Indian currency note gives space to all the languages. If the Indian currency note can give space to all languages, then obviously it is understood that we are more than just one language. We are more than just one culture. That's the point. We are more than just one religion.
While these conversations were going on, Uttar Pradesh Fisheries Minister Sanjay Nishad stirred a hornet's nest when he said, if you don't speak Hindi, you can leave this country.
हिंदुस्तान में जिसे रहना है उसे हिंदी से प्रेम करना होगा। अगर हिंदी से प्रेम नहीं करता तो माना जाएगा कि वो विदेशी है या विदेशी ताकतों से उनका संबंध है। हम क्षेत्रीय भाषाओं का भी मतलब सम्मान करते हैं, लेकिन ये राष्ट्र एक है और भारत का संविधान कहता है कि भारत हिंदुस्तान है और हिंदुस्तान का मतलब हिंदी बोलने वालों का स्थान है। अगर हिंदी नहीं बोलता तो उसको हिंदुस्तान में उसका स्थान नहीं है, उसे देश को छोड़कर दूसरे जगह चला जाए।
So does India have a national language? Is Hindi a national language? The answer is India does not have a national language. Though Hindi is one of the most popular languages of the country, Hindi does not have a status of the national language. The 8th schedule to the constitution names 22 languages of India: Assamese, Bengali, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Kashmiri, Konkani, Malayalam, Manipuri, Marathi, Nepali, Oriya, Punjabi, Sanskrit, Sindhi, Tamil, Telugu, Urdu, Bodo, Santali, Maithili and Dogri. Of these 22 languages, 14 languages were initially included in the constitution. The Sindhi language was added in 1967. After that, 3 more languages, Konkani, Manipuri and Nepali were included in 1992. In 2004, Bodo, Dogri, Maithili and Santali were added. As per Article 343 of the Constitution of India, Hindi was designated as the official language of the Union. Article 343 states that official language of the Union shall be Hindi in Devanagari script. The form of numerals to be used for the official purposes of the Union shall be the international form of Indian numerals. According to data, between 2001 and 2011, Hindi grew at a rate of 25%, adding about 100 million new Hindi speakers. Among the 10 largest languages in India, Hindi is the only one that saw the rise in the proportion of its speakers. The language has been witnessing the growth since 1971, driven mostly by high population growth in the Hindi-speaking states. The language war has now assumed political colors. The TMC recently said that they would oppose any move by the BJP if it tried to impose Hindi on other states. This was said just a day after Union Home Minister Amit Shah said that the time has come to make official language Hindi an important part of our country's unity. Even in the past, there have been attempts by the government to make Hindi a unifying language for the country. This was opposed by many people in the south and other parts. The confusion over whether Hindi is a national language or not and whether it requires a preferential treatment arose because our constitution is silent on the issue of national language. It only speaks about official language. There are no subsequent notifications that states that Hindi is not the national language of India. In fact, what gave a leg up to pro-Hindi voices is Article 351 of our constitution, which states that it shall be the duty of the Union to promote the spread of the Hindi language, to develop it so that it may serve as a medium of expression for all the elements of the composite culture of India, and to secure its enrichment by assimilating without interfering with its genius, the forms, style and expressions used in Hindustani and in the other languages of India specified in the 8th schedule, and by drawing wherever necessary or desirable for its vocabulary primarily on Sanskrit and secondarily on other languages. It would thus appear that the 8th schedule was intended to promote the progressive use of Hindi and for the enrichment and promotion of that language. Which means that Hindi is not the national language of India. Hindi is the official language, but still the Union, as per this article, needs to propagate the spread of the language of Hindi. Hence, the confusion over Hindi continues. Hindi can never be a unifying force in India. India is known for its multiple languages, cultures, religions, castes, creeds and ethnicities. What can unite us is only the concept of unity in diversity. India has always been the ideal example of the idea of unity in diversity. India cannot afford to play the one religion, one language and one ideology card. Our diversity is our greatest strength. To not respect our diversity is to go against the very spirit of the idea of India that was built on the concept of the feeling of oneness and togetherness despite our differences.